He made it look simple, but there was a lot more happening beneath the surface. Jannik Sinner, the world number 1, is through to the Madrid Open quarterfinals after defeating Britain's top player Cam Norrie in straight sets. 6-2, 7-5. On paper, it looks like another calm and controlled win for the Italian star. But if you watched the match closely, you saw a battle of timing, rhythm, and mental strength that says a lot about where Sinner's game is right now. This was not one of those flashy performances filled with impossible winners and highlight reel rallies. Instead, it was something even more dangerous for the rest of the tour. It was efficient. It was smart. And it showed that Sinner can win even when conditions are not ideal and when his opponent starts pushing back. The first set lasted just 35 minutes, but it was messy tennis from both players early on. There were more unforced errors than clean winners, and neither man looked fully comfortable. That can happen in Madrid. The altitude changes everything. The ball flies faster, timing becomes tricky, and players often need extra time to settle. But while both players struggled, Sinner adjusted first. That has become one of his biggest strengths. He does not panic when the level drops. He doesn't need every shot to feel perfect. Instead, he keeps making solid decisions until the match turns in his favor. Against Norrie, that's exactly what happened. He broke serve twice, stayed composed, and suddenly the opening set was gone 6-2. For Cam Norrie, that could have been the moment the match slipped away completely. But give the British number 1 credit. He responded in the second set with much more energy and intent. His movement improved, his lefty pattern started working, and he began dragging Sinner into longer rallies. He also managed something few players do comfortably against the Italian right now. He disrupted the rhythm. Norrie broke back and moved ahead 4-3 in the second set. At that point, there was real pressure on Sinner. The crowd sensed a possible shift. Madrid has seen momentum swings all week, and suddenly this looked like a match heading into a deciding set. What makes this result even more interesting is that Sinner was not completely happy before the match even started. He spoke afterward about the unusual early start time, saying he could not remember the last time he played at 11 in the morning. That may sound minor, but top-level tennis players build routines around timing. Warm-up, meals, treatment, sleep, mental preparation. Everything is structured. Sinner also raised a bigger point about scheduling in Madrid. He mentioned how late-night matches can finish around 1:30 in the morning, leaving players little time to eat, recover, and sleep before doing it all again. It was a calm but honest message. He was not complaining. He was highlighting a real issue that many players quietly deal with. And here's the impressive part. Even after talking about disrupted schedules and unusual timing, he still delivered a straight sets win against a dangerous opponent. That says a lot about his professionalism. For Norrie, there are positives too. Yes, he lost, but this was not a collapse. He competed harder in the second set, showed resilience, and pushed the world number 1 in key moments. Even more importantly, his recent form means he moves back toward the top 20 in the rankings for the first time since 2024. That is a strong sign that his hard work is paying off. Norrie has always built success through grit, fitness, and relentless consistency. He may not get the same headlines as some of the bigger stars, but when he is sharp, he is one of the most difficult players to beat. If he continues trending upward, he can become a serious threat again at the biggest tournaments this season. Now the spotlight turns back to Sinner and what comes next. He is chasing his first Madrid Open title, which is a fascinating detail because he has already achieved so much elsewhere. For a player of his level, Madrid feels like one of those missing pieces. The conditions here can reward aggressive baseline tennis, but they also test movement, patience, and shot control. Winning in Madrid would add another layer to his growing resume. He is also hunting a 9th ATP Masters 1000 title, which shows just how quickly he is building an elite career. These are not small events. Masters titles are where the very best players prove themselves repeatedly across different surfaces and conditions. What stands out most in 2026 is how complete Sinner now looks. Earlier in his career, people saw explosive shot-making and huge potential. Now they see structure, calmness, smarter point construction, and confidence under pressure. That transformation is what turns talent into dominance. And for the rest of the field, that is a worrying sign. Because if Sinner can win comfortably on a day when the level was not perfect, when the start time felt strange, and when his opponent made a late push, then what happens when he finds top gear? That is the question hanging over this tournament. Madrid has already delivered surprises, drama, and physical battles. But the world number one keeps moving forward with minimal noise. No wild celebrations.
No emotion en els swings.
Just another win, another lesson for the field, and another step closer to the trophy. Cam Norrie showed heart. He had moments. He tested the favorite. But in the end, Sinner's quality was simply too much. So now we ask you, can anyone stop Jannik Sinner in Madrid? Or is the world number one quietly marching toward another major title run? And how dangerous could Cam Norrie become again if this form continues? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and if you love tennis stories, match breakdowns, and daily updates from the biggest events in the world, make sure to like, subscribe, and join us here on Tennis Desk for more.